We can continue on. So if you are here, it means existence wants you to be here in this form. You are not an accident. You are an incident. You are a conscious miracle of existence. Existence is trying to express itself through you. Welcome to the sacred spiritual experience, your digital experience of the divine. This may be what you think as your first time in the presence of a divine cosmic being, but this is not the first time this energy has graced the planet Earth. If you are watching this now, it is not a coincidence. This is a cosmic intervention in your life to make you manifest what you want. So how is this possible? How has this worked before? Experience these answers through the powerful cognition as referenced from the ancient texts of Hinduism, revived by the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. So let us understand who is Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness, the cosmic mother. She is the source Shakti. It is her cosmic womb, the Brahmanda Yoni, from which billions of universes come out and go in. Source where the Big Bang and black hole go on. Parashakti is the main deity of the sacred feminine and the divine consort of Bhagavan Paramashiva, who is a primordial divinity of Hinduism. In the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself, first and foremost relationship is mother. The ability to learn, even idea to relate, how to relate starts with the mother. Understand your idea to relate. Your ability to relate starts with the mother. Mother is too important a way to connect with what you think as life. The Vedic tradition, our rishis are aware. Your ability to connect with the mother should be directed towards the cosmos. It should inspire. It should awaken your higher consciousness. It should inspire your higher consciousness to express through you. It should awaken your higher consciousness. Connecting with life as mother is the most sweetest, most beautiful, most easiest form to ever connect. And today, out of his extreme compassion and love, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is manifesting Devi Parashakti herself and gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, and delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. So what is Bhava Samadhi Darshan? What is Samadhi? Sama is oneness and Adi means source. So Samadhi means one with the source. Bhava means attitude or aspect. Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through this aspect. So darshan means to have a glimpse of. In the Vedic tradition, it is used to describe the moment we behold a deity, an avatar, a saint, or an enlightened being, as just seeing such a being can cleanse the karmas of lifetimes and create a deep, lasting transformation in the receiver. Darshan is the powerful, superconscious vibration that is present around an avatar at all times. He simply radiates darshan just as the sun continuously radiates light. The auspicious moment when the receiver is able to catch it becomes the moment of darshan. For you, raising you to the next level of superconscious breakthrough, it's like hitting the reset button on your being. The first thing you need to understand about Bhava Samadhi Darshan is that divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from Kailasa, the enlightened time-space zone, through deities and incarnations. Divine cosmic beings manifest through the Archavataras, the deities in temples, and through the Bhava Samadhi Darshans in the Nijavatara, the incarnations. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of the Nijavatara Paramashiva, the consciousness. It is where formless, the being of Paramashiva, expresses through the Divya Sharira, the light body, and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form, the embodied form for us to experience Paramashiva. So, for example, Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Raja Rajeshwari and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Devi Meenakshi. And the Archavatara, the deity, reflects the consciousness and manifestation, the being of the superconscious energy. But human beings are unfortunately not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences from the Archavatara directly. So the avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge the gap and create the experience of superconscious energy in all of us. Bhava Samadhi Darshan awakens your Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential energy in every human being. This influx of superconscious energy visibly slows down the aging process, improves immunity to disease, and during this darshan, the whole brain becomes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives. During Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. The mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing. That is, the entire body can silently, without moving, receive what is happening elsewhere through a process of direct observation, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. So the Akashic readings are not predictions, they are readings from the cosmic archive. Beyond space, creation, and destruction happen simultaneously. In the dimension of time starts the past, present, and future, because Akashic records are stored in Akasha, the space dimension. There is no past, present, and future. That is why what you call as happening, and yet to happen are clearly already recorded. Let us understand who is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti for each and every one of us. Of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanitanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism and is recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities as a lifestyle for humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham, is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Surangi Samrajyam, is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam of the Kailasonata Shyamla Pita Sarvajnapeetham, and is the Nirvani Akala, the largest apex monastic order. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atalakada, is the present 23rd Guru Mahasanidanam of the Dharmamukti Swaragura Adinam, and has been elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 plus Hindu leaders. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as a teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed and read and watched, and has authored over 300 books, 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded, and over 10,000 hours of discourses delivered. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enriched and enriched over 1 billion, respected as the commentator of all sacred scriptures, such as the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Brahma Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, and many more. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as a leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader, is a reviver of 108 ancient Hindu sampradayas, including Rudrakanyas, Rudras, Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, and Sannyas. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University, with satellite campuses in 150 countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems, and is a founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvajnapeethams. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. So now with this, we will be concluding this portion of this program and be entering into the demonstration of the extraordinary Shakti, the powers of Paramashiva we'll be witnessing this from the Gurukul Balasan, the initiated disciples of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. So I welcome Nithyananda Yoga Prana. Thank you for joining us. So now we will witness all of the extraordinary powers demonstrated by the Gurukul Balasan after we understand what are Shaktis and how we also will be able to manifest these Shaktis today. So I will let my Yoga Prana take over. Thank you, Ma.
Yes. Thank you so much, Manitya Purnapriyananda, for that beautiful introduction to this program. Let us now enter into the next segment, which is the manifestation of extraordinary Shaktis. So all of you are going to be witnessing the demonstration of extraordinary Shaktis. And the Balasans, the Nithyananda Yogis, and initiated disciples will be demonstrating the following powers of third eye and the body scanning. Power of third eye is where one can awaken the ability to see through the cosmic browsing center, which is located between the brows, and can even read with the eyes blindfolded, just as they see with their two eyes. And this power of body scanning is where one diseases medically diagnosed issues and even reveals solutions through the third eye. And all of you are going to be learning about what are Shaktis and how you can awaken these divine Shaktis in yourself, so you yourself can manifest these powers. Shaktis in the Veda Agamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest these 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis. And Paramashiva reveals that just with the cognition that you are the divine and that you need to manifest the divine, you can manifest these extraordinary Shaktis, not with the cognition that you are a man and that you need to reach the divine. And let us learn the fundamental difference between Shaktis and Shaktis. Shaktis are powers which manifest from deep integrity, high integrity and feeling connection with the divine and deep oneness with the divine. And Shaktis are Siddhis, whereas are the powers which manifest from deep tapas or penance or enlightenment. Siddhis are the path and all of you who's Shaktis, who gave us all these Shaktis and how do we manifest?
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy.
Sorry for the technical glitch. Let's not continue. So, how do we awaken these? Yes, when every ultimate manna is mapped into our consciousness, it becomes a possibility and a power of it. So, let us now watch a small video. It explains science of power of Diksha and how one can manifest Diksha from the just with one look, touch, or word.
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, It sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, Biddi, Bengaluru. Contact 97422 03311.
So let us now continue to see how the science of our manifestation is authenticated in the four aspects of the object. First, is the Shastra, which are the eternal unchangeable truths that are seen. Next is the arts of Brahma, which is the experience of ourselves or the authority may be teaching and science to practice and research. Next is the arts of Brahma, which is the experience of the meanings of that experience. So, this divine woman is Bhagavan can experience of faith as the empirical evidence or observation done on the science of power. So let us now move on into the Shastra Pranaya before we begin with a very unique and exciting demonstration of power of. Let us now move on to Shastra Pranaya, which is from the beginning of Bhairava Tantra. Kapalantharmanonyasa Vistanmilitalochanaha Ramena Manaso Datyat Vakyaye Laksamuttamam. By fixing the mind on the inner state, within the ground center, sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession by the stability of the mind and inner state. The power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal Laksham by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the state of oneness, the source Paramashiva. Next, the after as Bhagavan Krishna indicates power of third. So Bhagavan Krishna indicates Arjuna power of third eye. Beautifully said. Natumam shakyate drashtum anenaiva svachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu patyame yogamaishwaram. But you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I grant you the divine third eye. Behold my cosmic opulence. The 11th chapter of Gita beautifully contains as it is completely narrated by Krishna after the power of. The next is the Akashic property beautifully translated of how he was able to experience the
inside and outside broke. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 direction. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience. I felt that the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The setting sun, rising moon, the whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, trees, everything, everything, everything just became so alive. The idea, something is inside,
And next is the reflection theory, which is the empirical evidence of observation and scientific. So the study measures compare the metabolic cell activity of the
inside
brain
and
in the
outside.
meditative and conscious state of the sitting all the time, doing daily activities, high activities related to the brain of third eye region, and when in the deep state of nausea, only the third eye region is active and about 90% of the brain. So let us now get ready to witness the Akashic Samadhi, which is the live demonstration of the experiences and results of our manifestation being manifested by Bharati happening to the so along with me, I have an extraordinary Bharati and extraordinary power Manasi, who is 16 years old and she is going to be demonstrating extraordinary powers of I just like And today, Ma Virija is going to be demonstrating one of the extraordinary powers of blindfold, where she will be able to see with her eyes closed, just as she sees with her eyes with her eyes closed. And on the seat, I have around the seat. In front is a complete seat, and behind is a thick hub. There is no gap between the front and the seat, and it is completely closed and covered from all. There is no way of light entering to this. And this is the icon I'm going to be placing on Master eyes. And this is completely medically and scientifically certified icon. Even with the eye open inside, you cannot see through this icon. So now it is just before that, I'm going to be placing the icon on Master eyes. Already, yes, starting icon and placing the icon. And it is completely now, quality 50 Margarita is completely comfortable. And yes, I request all of you to go ahead, post any comments you want on the Kailasat HDH Nithyananda channel. And Margarita is going to be reading out the comments. Go ahead, post emojis, numbers, letters, anything you want. And Margarita is going to be reading it. Yes. So it is from Parashakti, Bhagwan, Krishna, Dharma, Mahadharma, people must acknowledge how often do those like you type first. And then in what is that Paramashya? There's also like quite elegant and not disappointed. That was beautiful. All of you saw how Margarita was so fluently able to read with her eyes blindfolded. So they could read a whole sentence, which is not often sentence or anything, or it's not any common use sentence. People make a those things of how I think they start Jesus and them. So Margarita was able to read so fluently. Just how I read it with her eyes open, Margarita was able to read it. Anyone else? Please go ahead, post the comment. Go ahead, put anything, emojis, numbers, shapes, comments, paragraphs, anything you want, science terms, medical terms, anything. And Margarita is going to be reading it out live. That's not for yes. Thank you for telling us, Mahajan in the Nithyananda. We will surely be posting it. We'll complete for the technical. Nithya Peruvaz is for Nithyananda as a first person. So beautiful. How Margarita was able to read with her eyes so fluently as it are open. And he is able to read the colors, he was able to see the numbers, he was able to see the comments, he was able to read the names, emojis, everything amazing, so beautiful. And this is all because of grace of God. Just with grace of God, he was able to manifest this extraordinary. So beautiful demonstration. I'm now going to be removing the I request the comment to I've done it and the next power which all of you are going to be taking is the power of body. So, power of body can be where one awakens the ability to be able to stand in the third eye and detect illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed issues, and any problems present in the body. So now I'll be chanting the last Pramana. It's from the Vijnana Bhaiva. पदेहे जगतो वापि सूक्ष्मतराणि च तत्त्वानि यानि निलयम् यात्वान्ते व्यज्यते परा. The whole body, or the whole universe, they are being absorbed in their whole process. And by the experience of complete all thought and ultimate universal design of Parashakti, the art of next is the after Pramana, which is the reference of power of Here was Siddha and one of the most prominent disciples of one day, a man suddenly continued to become subject to the body. After seeing for a body, and always fight the rest of the day. He reveals that the person that is not a parent or that is not a person. Other people stuck area and able to drop after the study the completed and thus the second building. Next is the Atma Pramana, which is the account of the Supreme Master who was also tested and authenticated on the 22nd of December. Swami beautifully says that he manifested two powers, which is power of God and Sada, which is going beyond from the calculations from the test. Only when I had a multiple compound bankruptcy, I was forced to go for surgery and that was medical practice. At that time, they detected having gone to my different organs and it was revealed to me that I had been poisoned without power. And I immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical treatment to study the body and see the body. detected having a constant and cities that can be important health outcomes. I immediately use that methods to study medical facilities to study the body condition. And through the body scanning, I found out what problems had happened by the body. I used allopathy to second opinion that he decided. And all these avatars in incarnations, even though they take a human body, they are not beyond any incident that happens to them is not an accident, it is a divine. It is divine play. Unlike the passage where various examples across the globe illustrate how the body determines and in complement the requirement of the requirement of the design in the day-to-day life. And many experience that you can see over and how despite doing for the boys there is so much of energy they are able to manage in that way. They do not see them during the body. Episode which is a live practice done by Barton Publishing Global outside Advanced. I will be right back to you. And meanwhile, social views is watching us right now. I request all of you if you want the body scanning, please go forward in the comment section of the YouTube channel and we'll be doing the scanning live from there. Yes. So I'm back with the balancing ability and beautiful Mansi who is 13 years old and he is going to be demonstrating this extraordinary Shakti to all of you. And any one of you who wants the body scanning, please go ahead, share your request in the Kailasa SPX channel and Brahman Agam will gladly be doing the body scan. Present, let us all understand the power of body scanning. What is the difference between going to the doctor and getting the body? When you go to a doctor, you can the doctor will diagnose you and you guys will be or whatever the doctor diagnosis. And then that doctor will give you a medicine. But the doctor, the one thing is taking in the kind of the root cause of that. Why the problem starts in the body? Because our body is very misleading. The man of the body is very misleading. Not disease. The anything can be related to sometimes the earth can be even related to you not digesting your food properly. It can be related to you like what can be related to anything. Even the biggest of cancer, even the deadliest of diseases can be related to something so simple like that. And that is the one thing the doctor will never find out. What is the catalyst? When the third eye scans your body, jogging started in the body, whether it is not taking care of the body properly, whether it is just a constant not actual problem, or whether it is a completely one thing, or whether it is just acting about something. That is the power of the it is exactly the root cause of the problem, why it started in the field, and it reveals things in all the things. Many people have that, but they are not even related to it. And even if you're not able to do it, if you follow the physical experiment for a day, you will actually see that you will get completely from the problem situation. Because Paramashiva gives the third eye for root cause. Now, Katrina Surya has tested that self-quality. Therefore, will be getting back right after conflict. Back right after. And then I request all of you go ahead, put your comments in the Kailas channel and getting back.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just me.
So let us now competing for the technical. Let's now continue. Ma Pravina Surya, Ma, please help me. Please help me to stand why I can't see things. Regardless whatever I do, numbers can change the people. Let's Ma Pravina Surya, slowly will be doing God's practice and begin with God's Now, Brahma Yoga is going to be chanting the Mahavakya and he will be connected with Paramashivoham and begin with the root cause. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Master, where is your body? Master, food to eat for the fat in the body, the fat in the body, causes weight in the body. Every day should read the room like me, and this will continue to technique transfer even. So this is that's one technique, like training technique, living technique, and also that see the results that coming into you, and you actually start using the way. First thing, that you really start and second, see the living mechanism. That's completely all the habits.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems.
Nithyanam, everyone. So now all of us just saw a wonderful demonstration of the powers of third eye awakening. And now we'll be moving to the next segment where all of us will be seeing and learning about the divine feminine consciousness, who is none other than Devi Parashakti herself. And as we had the power manifestation segment before, we apologize for the technical glitch that took place. And for everyone who came for body scanning, you can join again at 2 a.m. IST and 4 p.m. IST, and we will be doing the body scan for you. And yes, with that, we'll now be entering into the next segment where we will be seeing about divine feminine consciousness. So we'll be first looking at the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, which comes from the Lalita Sahasranama Dhyana Shloka.
सिन्दूरारुण विग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलि स्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीं मापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्. The translation for this verse is the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon, as shining in a vermilion red body, with triple eyes, sporting a crown of rubies, studded with the crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. And another Dhyana shloka of the Parashakti, which comes from the Lalita Sahasranama Dhyana shloka. अरुणां करुणातरङ्गताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अनिमादिभिरावृतां मयूकैः रहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम्. And the translation for this verse is, I meditate on the great Empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion. She holds the nose, the gourd, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as anima furays, and she is the self within me. And Devi Parashakti is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes manifest. And Parashakti is the source Shakti, the source energy, the source power from which all of us came, in which all of us are in even now, and in which all of us are going to merge. And out of extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatar of the Supreme Point of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. And Devi Parashakti beautifully says how she manifests as the Nijavatar of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So, in the words of Devi Parashakti herself, she says, raising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Rimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in 40 triangles, the Kailasha Swami who is in Kailasha, Sri Purachintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi, as Nithyananda, I took Nijavatara here to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranyagarbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayovana, Samrajya Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashorasi, Meenakshi, taking the form of Nithyananda, I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion and blessing, listen people, to do good to all of you. I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. And Devi Parashakti again briefly reveals, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, manifesting as source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, and Jnana, growing as four Vedas, expanding as five Panchabhutas, beyond six chakras, filled as Gotras of seven Rishis, expanding as eight directions, existing as nine Grahas, blossoming as 10 Indriyas, being as 11 Mitras, creating all the worlds, bringing life to tell and make you blossom and to do good. Parashodasi Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. And now all of you can see how you can receive Devi Parashakti when she comes for the darshan. So literally you are seeing Paramashivan Parashakti at that moment. She is there on your screen. So always receive her in a very traditional manner. You can keep 2 beet leaves, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and a coin in front of the screen as you watch the Parashakti. And now some of you might be wondering what exactly a coin is considered as, what is its importance, or why is it kept as part of a tambulam? So coin in the Hindu tradition is actually considered the traditional dakshina as an offering made to various gods in all the temples. So it can be the low, just a paise, and in the US it can be just a cent. Swamiji says, I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. In India, even 1 paise is okay. And you can offer that to Devi Parashakti. And once the darshan is over, you can do namaskar, offer your salutations, and you can eat the banana, the betel leaf, and the betel nut, taking it as prasadam immediately. And the coins that you collect, you can send it to the Los Angeles temple for further procedures. And now some of you might be wondering, what exactly does this betel leaf and betel nut do to you? How will it benefit you? Whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, how will it benefit you? So this betel leaf and betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really Devi Parashakti is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to powerful cognitions. It will break your unconscious behavior. And now all of you can see how you can set up the tambulam. So you can arrange the beet leaves, the betel nut, the banana, and the coin. You can arrange it in a plate and keep it in front of the screen. And as all of you are seeing the image, there are a few more additional items which can be kept as part of tambulam, which you could keep, such as some kumkum, turmeric, some glass bangles, some flowers, and a coconut. So if you would like, you can also add these few additional items. But the 4 basic items that are kept as part of the tambulam is the betel leaf, the betel nut, the banana, and the coin. So you can keep it in front of the screen as you watch the Parashakti, and you can receive the Parashakti when she comes for the darshan. And with that, we come to a conclusion of this segment where we have learned who is Devi Parashakti and how we can receive her when she comes for the darshan. And we'll be moving on to the next segment of this program where we will be learning what Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic readings for humanity on various problems that the world is going through, especially during this pandemic. So we'll be learning what she has revealed in the Akashic readings and how important it is for us to understand, internalize, and follow what Devi Parashakti has revealed. So please stay tuned and we'll be back after a really short break to move on to the next segment. Yes, welcome back everyone. So now we'll be moving to the next segment where we will be learning about what Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic readings.
Yes, Nithyananda. So first, we will be learning about some of the various revelations made by Devi Parashakti. If I could request the volunteer to project the other slide about the earlier slides that were projected. Yeah. So let us understand some of the various revelations made by Devi Parashakti and how they have manifested in our reality. On the 14th of April 2021, Devi revealed Corona is destroyed, but it will take 4 years for the political conspiracy done by humans to end. I will protect my devotees, disciples, and Kailasavasis. No suffering will come for my devotees, but it will take 4 years for the conspiracy of Corona to end. It will come to an end only in 2025. It is a conspiracy, a human conspiracy. You were asking about the suffering of Corona in India. Listen, people, listen properly what is said. With honesty, I am telling you the real truth. The cosmic pralaya has stopped. The Corona second wave that is happening now is a bioweapon. What is happening now is a bio war. As Nijavatara taking the form of Nithyananda Parashakti, I came in person to save Bharat, to save Sanatana Hindu Dharma in Bharat. Taking the form of Nithyananda, when I came as Nijavatara, the people who don't know how to live having me with them, what will I do for them? World cannot be sacrificed for the sake of conspiracies done by some ignorant thieves who got stuck in Maya. Srishti should not have loss. Cosmos should not have destruction. To save the cosmos from Pralaya, I made a huge ship. Its name is Adi Kailasa. Adi Kailasa is the ship that will gather all the enlightened powers of this cosmos and save the people from the Pralaya through the tricks of traitors, rule of the enemies, without any other way out. Time came for the sailor itself to leave. That is why the sky is boiling and moving towards huge destruction. People, even if children, do mistakes in ignorance by getting stuck in Maya. As it is Parashakti, Paramashakti, Parashodasi, Manonmani. My responsibility to save the cosmos from the destruction. I am telling some of the truth. Listen properly. Within the next few months, not in thousands or lakhs, lives will be lost in crores. Crores of lives will be lost in India. I am telling you the truth. I am telling you the good. Search for protection for your life. And let us understand how Devi Parashakti's revelations have manifested into reality in our lives. In May, it was reported that nearly 350,000 new infections and deaths were reported. And at one hospital in New Delhi, the capital, doctors said that 20 patients are in a critical care unit had died after the oxygen pressure dropped. The doctors blamed the deaths on the city's acute oxygen shortage. And as we have heard, India posts the highest death toll so far in the pandemic. This was in May itself, and these numbers have unfortunately continued to rise. And you can see how the bodies are literally burning in the streets from not the crematoriums being packed to capacity. Bodies are unfortunately being burned in the streets without any place for their rituals to be properly done. And on the 23rd of May, 2021, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed, all devotees and disciples, whoever listened to me, whom I don't need to convince, this is a personal message I am giving to you all clearly. Devi has very clearly revealed to me, Puratasi month, August, September, there is going to be a worse third wave of corona.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Again, and welcome back to you. Sorry for the technical glitch. So let us understand some of the various revelations made by Devi Parashakti for humanity during this pralaya. First, let us understand the compassion of the avatar for manifesting Devi Parashakti in our lives. In the Guru Padaka Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, the very first verse describes how the Guru Padaka is the sacred feet of the Guru is the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And the verse translates, salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which is a boat which helps me cross the endless ocean of life, which endows me with a sense of devotion to my Guru, and by worship of which I attain the dominion of renunciation. Many of us have been feeling stuck in the same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of the suffering that surrounds us during the pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to the natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole of humanity is in a desperate and dire need of hope. And it's at this time that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, in guiding and healing the whole world, as literally the boat that sails us through the pralaya, the cosmic deluge. Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering each of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity at large. Devi Parashakti has guided the whole of humanity in the form of sacred revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues like the COVID pandemic, natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human conspiracies and underground wars, which have not surfaced to common knowledge as yet. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which is manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until the storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. Let us understand some of these revelations made by Devi Parashakti. So Devi has revealed the 8 methods to protect yourself from corona on the 30th of April 2021. Let us understand what those 8 methods are. First, let us watch the video of the revelations itself. I don't think the audio is being shared. If I could request the volunteer to share the audio as well. I don't think the audio is being shared. If I could request the volunteer to stop the screen share and share the audio as well. If we can. Yes, you can just stop screen share and you can restart it and share the audio. I don't think the audio is still shared. So if you can just stop the screen share and then you can reshare and share the audio with it. Yes. Sorry, Ma, I don't think the audio is shared still. So you can just actually stop the screen share. Yes, if you can just stop the screen share and then you can reshare the screen with the audio. Yes. So as we wait for that video to get ready, let us understand how we can ask our questions and have our prayers blessed by Devi Parashakti directly. You can ask any of your questions in the YouTube comments below during the live Devi Parashakti Akashic readings, as well as in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even in WhatsApp. You can ask any of your questions and be blessed by Devi Parashakti directly. So yes, you can play the video now.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட, நன்மையை சொல்லிட, தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் 1, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் 2, எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாரி வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4 நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்துவது 5 சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபா ஜபமாய் நிகழ்த்தல் 6 நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7 பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள் 8 1 செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்பு Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எலா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எலா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எலா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி,
Nithyanandam, sorry for the technical glitch. Let us understand now Devi Parashakti's revelations mapped into English. Oh, humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social media, wherever I'm residing, worshiping me by doing fire walking, applying turmeric in chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on me every day, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss, doing the ajapa ajapa of the cosmic sound Shiva, 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the field and going to sleep, being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Swarana that blossoms as aham, aham, in the state of Ananda Swarana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have effects of Corona. They don't have fear and delusions of Corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will have good life. Even if you do one of these 8 ways, I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. Don't have fear, people. Be blissful. And Devi revealed that there are 8 methods to protect humanity from COVID-19. Now let us understand each of these more deeply and the science behind each method. The step 1 was praying and meditating on me, Devi Parashakti. So science has understood the benefits of prayer, and in Healthline it was reported there are 12 benefits of prayer and meditation, and this includes reducing stress, controlling anxiety, promoting emotional health, enhancing self-awareness, lengthening the attention span, reducing it may reduce age-related memory problems. It can help generate kindness. It may help fight addictions. It can improve sleep. It helps control pain and can decrease the blood pressure. And it's very easily accessible. And in one study, it stated the benefit of meditation and mindfulness practices, especially during the times of crisis such as COVID-19. And the study by the US Department of Health and Human Services has revealed the various benefits on the physical and mental health. And another study by the Cambridge University Press reiterates the necessity of meditation during times of crisis such as COVID-19. And in Everyday Health magazine, it was published on December 7th, 2015, that prayer and spirituality protect the emotional health. And it explains that it offers a bigger sense of purpose, a connection to a greater power or truth, can give you a sense of purpose and meaning beyond the day-to-day life. And it can provide social support. Through practicing your spirituality, you may become involved with a community of like-minded people, and it can lift the spirit. Activities related to your spiritual practice of community involvement, such as singing and music, may also have positive effects on emotional health. And it can also help you cope with difficulties. Spirituality or even religion can provide a framework for dealing with unexpected or negative events. And on September 2015, the report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers 91 people with congestive heart failure for 5 years, they found that those who reported feeling spiritual peace and who also make some healthy lifestyle changes were significantly more likely to live longer than their peers. And people with major depressive disorders or chronic medical illnesses who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious experiences, generally become more optimistic than their peers. This was found in a study published in Depression and Anxiety on July 2015. So the avatar himself has directly demonstrated the benefits of meditation and has shown the direct impacts on the mind. And researchers have studied Supreme Concept of Hinduism's brain directly and seen how it has a physical effect on the brain. So let us watch the video and understand more about it.
Nithyananda participates and encourages scientific researchers to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
When Swamiji came, I have requested him to do one thing. I asked him, would you be willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process? He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that, because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. Scientific findings are verifiable. They're replicable. You can replicate them, duplicate them. So Swamiji went through those sessions and we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light up. They light it up into deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here, right in the middle, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was, Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that one. See that light right here? So what's interesting was, I've never seen that before in my life, so the other parts I've seen may not be to the extent that Swamiji showed, but this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area, and when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a nerve receptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. It basically evokes pleasure. If you eat, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's mediated through dopamine. Everything that human being experiences involves dopamine. But what's interesting is that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is the dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. D stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine as well. What's also interesting is that he could at will go in and out of the states. Those are some of the findings I want to share with you. There's so much more talk about physiology of mind and brain and the body. It's a fascinating field that this is something that all human beings can relate to, can apply in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life. for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, has been baffling the medical world, curing diseases from migraine to cancer. Qualified people are also initiated to become healers. The complete report of the research conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
We've seen how
Nithyananda participates and
in your brain when meditating and how it really affects your the brain activity. Let us now listen to the Supreme Concept of Hinduism speaking about prayer and how prayer can change your whole mood and your day. Let's watch it.
If you are not allowed to do yoga, made to believe early morning sleep is the best thing in your life, you are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit at 30-40 minutes and melt down by feeling connection. Understand? Nothing can be compared to prayer to bust your stress. I tell you, prayer is the best stress buster. Deep feeling connection and tears rolling in your eyes and melting down. Prayer to Paramashiva. Intense yearning, Vyakulata, talking to Paramashiva, relating to Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, every day puja is an ultimate recharging experience. If you do everyday puja, the kind of the stress-free life you will live, your whole biological clock will be aligned to Kailasa. I tell you, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long. Not just long, happy. In my whole life, it is Nitya Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Everyday puja, relating with the deities is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, dress up the deities, jewel them, spend time with them, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect and pray. Understand? You do not know the power of Archavatara. God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. What living avatar can do to you, an Archavatara can do. Atma Linga I am giving to all of you is literally living Archavatara. It's a piece of God. Literally.
So now that we've understood the first step of how to protect yourself from corona, let us now enter into the next segment where we will understand some of the various ways that we can connect with Devi Parashakti through the various offerings made to Devi Parashakti. So we'll enter into this next segment after a very short break.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவத வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எலா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எலா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
Nithyananda, welcome back to viewers. Now let us enter into this next segment where we will understand the various ways we can connect with Devi Parashakti. Let us understand how Devi has manifested in our lives and how we can deepen our love and gratitude and connection with Devi Parashakti. So Devi Parashakti is the completion of both masculine and feminine, and both consciousnesses have to be expressed equally by every human being to be enlightened. Until enlightenment, only the masculine dimension expresses more than the feminine dimension, irrespective of the male or female physical bodies. And every human being has to complete with the 5 dimensions to achieve enlightenment. This includes the Pitrus or the ancestors, the Kula Devatas, which are the family deities, the parents whom we get our physical DNA, and the nature. And 5th is the Guru, who will ultimately give us enlightenment itself. In completion, our light, negative, and adharmic cognition in these 5 dimensions, and they lead to misconstrued karana and karya, the cause and effect, and further lead to suffering and pain and calamities in individual, personal, and collective and global levels. Being sensitive to life is being aware and in gratitude to life for everything, from the air that we breathe, to the place that we sit, to the energy that we feel that we exist, and the energy to celebrate your existence. And these 43 energies constitutes our human body. When all 43 are integrated to Dharma, one becomes enlightened. Dharma is the cosmic motherly completion and sensitivity from the level of the Panchabhutas, and is the core principle of the cosmos. And awakening the sacred is key to enlightenment. When awakened, man expresses the sacred feminine consciousness. He becomes a great revered leader. When awakened, woman expresses the sacred feminine consciousness. She becomes Devi, cosmic mother, expressing power. And the key to awaken the sacred feminine consciousness is through conscious sovereignty. And out of millions, the easiest, sweetest, and most beautiful path to enlightenment is connecting with the cosmos as mother, Devi Parashakti, the cosmic feminine consciousness. She is the one who expresses as Guru all the gods, all the manifestations in the universe. She can straight away deliver enlightenment by connecting through the cosmic umbilical cord. Offerings are not to benefit the divine, but to close our gap with the divine consciousness. When we achieve completion with the divine cosmic mother, her infinite powers with her sweet grace starts nourishing all our dimensions through the cosmic umbilical cord. There's nothing too small or too big one can offer to connect with the Divine Mother. It has to be from a space of love, of a child looking at a mother and handing her what it has to share with her out of her deep love and gratitude. It can be a cup of milk or a flower, or it can be a precious jewel to adorn her smiling face or her beautiful hair. And the Vedic rishis have clearly stated the techniques to connect with the sacred feminine consciousness, to awaken the same qualities in us. One can connect with Paramashiva through oneness, but with the divine cosmic mother, it can only be by worshiping her sacred feet with devotion. Mother worship is the most non-violent, most peace-centered, most healing, soothing, and sweetest path to enlightenment among all traditions on planet Earth. Worshipping includes contemplating, meditating through sacred offerings of mantras and oblations at her feet. And as we stated, mother worship is the most non-violent and most peace-centered path to enlightenment. So why do we worship Mother? Why the divine feminine conscious? Because she is the ultimate. She's the easiest way to connect with the ultimate and experience the ultimate. And here is the pramana for Devi Parashakti. We can the translation. If we can see the translation, which states, I walk as the 11 Rudras, I walk as the Vasus, I walk as Vishnu and other Adityas and all the divine forms, the Vishvadeva, assuming the form of the inner self of all the gods, holds aloft Mitra and Varuna, even as Indra and Agni I do, and the Ashwini twins too. This is from the Rig Veda. And it continues on. The Ekadasha Rudras, the Maharudra, Ashta Vasus, the Dvadasha Adityas, Vishvadeva, Devata, all of them are my retinue. I move around in my various forms with them as my retinue. I protect all of them, including Mitra, Varuna, Indra, Agni, and the Ashwini Devatas. And Devi declares herself as the inner self of all the gods, the divine energies, and she is all pervading and all permeating. And when we offer our love, our gratitude to Devi Parashakti, we can experience the ultimate. We can experience all of the energy of Devi Parashakti and the fulfillment of our feminine consciousness. Let us look at the various offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. Is the E-Hundi offering, which is a general donation, and this can be in any amount. And it is stated that Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. And if there is any fear in the minds of the devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. And this does not mean the season autumn, but it is meant that the autumn of our lives, where our thoughts turn more and more inward, and the role of the divine becomes known and understood clearly, and the need for Devi worship becomes much stronger. And Devi is described as the one who bestows happiness on her devotees. So you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your Kanika, and your name shall be chanted during the puja of Devi Parashakti. The next offering is the Sankalpa chanting, which is the offering of the conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti. And it's stated in Saundarya Lahari, verse 27, that the mantras I chant with the sacrifice in my soul become chanting of your name. Let all my movements become auspicious mudras. Let my travel become perambulation around thee. Let the act of eating and drinking become fire, offerings, oblations, and homas, yajnas. Let my act of sleeping become salutations to you, and let all actions of pleasure of mine become part of your worship. So when you offer the Sankalpa chanting to the Devi Parashakti, you will have blessings for both asked and unasked, remembered and forgotten wishes to manifest by the grace of Devi Parashakti. Next offering is the Devi Sahasranama Sparnakasu, which are the gold coins inscribed with the various names of Devi Parashakti. And these various names represent the various qualities of Devi Parashakti, whether it's her overflowing compassion, her grace, or her knowledge. Whichever aspect you relate, you can offer a coin with the various names of Devi Parashakti and be blessed with all the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the blessings to manifest and awaken the multiple dimensions of the divine feminine consciousness and attributes and powers. The next offering is the Mukta Anguti, the nose ring, and it's stated that Devi, let the goddess who brings good fortune, who is praised by the gods, who is served by Devendra, who is praised by the Devas, troubled by the Asuras, who is praised and remembered as devotion to herself, all who is the source of all good in the world. Let that goddess destroy all obstacles. And when we offer this Mukta Anguti, we will be blessed with protection from all dangers and fears. The next offering is the Svarna Padma Pushpa, which is the golden lotus. And as we all know, the lotus is a very divine flower and it's seen in various aspects of Buddhism. And the lotus, despite being in murky waters, still grows with so much of beauty and grace. And it's stated that Devi, who bestows accomplishments and intellect, who showers worldly prosperity, Devi who powers the subtle mantra of the cosmos, I bow to you, O Devi Mahalakshmi. So when you offer this golden lotus, you will be receiving the blessings for attracting positive relationships in personal and business dimensions. The next offering is the Swarnamati, the golden toe ring that you can offer to Devi, and it's described of Devi's feet. Lord Brahma, the creator of your, collects a dust from your feet and creates this world. The great Adi Shesha with his thousands of heads and somehow carries a dust of your feet with great effort. And the great Lord Rudra takes it and powders it nicely and uses it as the holy ash. And when you offer these Swarnamati, you receive blessings for a life of leadership qualities by offering worship to the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, achieved by even worshipping a tiny grain of dust from her feet. The Meti is a gold toe ring to worship by adorning the divine feet of Devi Parashakti. The next offering is the Mantika, the gold hairline jewelry. And it is, Devi is described that she who makes, as the one who makes the nectar flow from the Sahasrara, the crown center, to the Anya, the third eye, and permeates through our 72,000 nadis, the energy centers, to give us the ultimate experience of the cosmos. So when we offer this Mantika, we will be blessed with the lifestyle of enlightenment. The next offering is the Pratikshyapada Puja, which is the most favorite offering of all the devotees. And when you offer this at the divine lotus feet of your very own Guru, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti, you will receive all the blessings and grace of both the Supreme Concept of Hinduism and Devi. And it's stated that Adi Shankaracharya has explained the greatness of worshipping the divine feet of the Guru. And he stated, my repute has traveled in all directions through my philanthropy and prowess. All the things of this world are in my hands as rewards for my virtues. Yet if one's mind be not centered upon the lotus feet of the Guru, What then? What then? What then? And the Pratiksha Pada Puja is, when you offer the Pratiksha Pada Puja, you will be blessed with the most auspicious and sweetest path to enlightenment. Next offering is the Vastra Seva. And Devi is Guru, the feminine consciousness, and the one beyond the idea of male and female. So when you offer the Vastram, the cloth, to the Guru, the dimension of the cosmic mother, you, during the Pratiksha Pada Puja, you will be bestowed with the sweetest path to enlightenment and with complete protection. So here are the list of all of the various offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti, manifesting through your very own Guru, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. And you can visit gateway.nithyanandeshwarahindutemple.org/NHTLA, and you can go to direct yourself towards the Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan donation page. And once you reach that page, you can go ahead and select whichever offering you would like to make. So this is what the page will look like. And you can choose in the drop-down menu the various offerings that you would like to make, whichever offering you would like to make, whether it's the Sarnavadma Pushpa or the Pratiksha Pada Puja. You can choose whichever one you would like and select that. And you can choose how many ever you would like. If you would like to offer for multiple people in your family, you can choose as many as you would like. And once you have chosen that, you can add that to your cart and proceed to the checkout. And once that is done, you can fill out all of your billing details just as you would for any other online payment. And it is a very simple process. And you can go ahead and place your order for your seva, and you can offer your love, your gratitude to Devi Parashakti. And then next, you can also join as an e-Kailashyan and join as a member of Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda page. The very simple way to do this, you can go to YouTube and go to the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda page, and you can hit the join button, which is shown on the screen. And once you choose that, you will be directed to this page where it will give you the option of the levels that you would like to become in the Kailasha, whether it's the bronze, silver, gold, platinum, or premium. You can choose whichever one you would like, and each one offers various benefits and exclusive content. So you can go ahead and choose whichever one suits you best. And then you can directly make the payment through YouTube by adding your credit card, or you can make your payment through the PayPal option. It's a very simple process. And once you are done, you will be registered to be an e-Kailashian and a member of the Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And this offers you many benefits, like being able to ask your questions live during the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, when you can ask any prayer request or boon directly to Devi Parashakti. And again, here is the link for where you can make your offering, gateway.nithyanandeshwarahindutemple.org. And with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and we'll be entering into the next portion of the program, which is where we will hear from the administrators of Adi Kailasha about the various activities that are going on in Adi Kailasa Vidyapita for the Kailasa's COVID care centers. As many of you have heard, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has opened up all of the Kailasas in India for multi-layer quarantine for any being who wants to protect themselves during this year, during this pandemic, and wants to ensure their life is protected. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has opened up all Kailasas for the Kailasa COVID care and has offered free food, free accommodations, free internet services, and much, much more. And today we will be hearing from the administrators of Adi Kailasa Satyajita about the various activities that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made available at the Kailasas of India, and hear about the beautiful ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened up to all residents of India to be able to protect their lives. So we have Ma Nithyananda Paramashivam joining us today for this segment. So we will be hearing from the administrators in just a moment after a very quick break. So, the Supreme
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
Nithyanandam, and welcome to today's segment, which will be covering the multi-layer quarantine COVID care protection centers at the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. Let's take a quick look at what the world is facing today for us to understand what the COVID care protection centers are really offering to humanity. About 4 in 10 parents say their child fell behind academically due to the pandemic. About 3 in 10 say their child experienced mental health. To see specifically, percentage of the parents who say that as a result of the pandemic, at least one of their children fell behind academically. 39% of parents feel so. 36% of parents feel at least one of their children fell behind in their social and emotional development. 29% of parents say at least one of their children experienced mental health or behavioral problems. The prevalence of depression and anxiety remains high among younger adults across various geographies. Specifically, in this case, we can see in France, 18 to 24-year-olds at over 25% and over 30%, over 25% feeling depressed and over 30% feeling anxious. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is substantiated by various studies which indicate that In the age group 18 to 24, the youth age group, 56% of youth feel that they are facing anxiety or depression because of the pandemic. 25 to 49, the working age group at about 50%, and 50 to 64, the elderly age group, 39% feeling anxious and or depressed, and the retired age group at 65 plus, almost 30% feel that they are facing medical symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder. So one can say across all the age groups, without leaving anybody, right from the youth to the working to the elderly age group, 30 to 60% feeling that they are suffering from symptoms of anxiety disorder, specifically triggered by this COVID-19 pandemic. Further, the Household Pulse Survey and the US Census Bureau surveys indicate that between 2019, which is the pre-COVID-19 period, to today, in the 2021 year frame, the average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and or depressive disorder has jumped from 11% in 2019 to a whopping 41%, more than, it's almost close to 4 times the number of adults who are experiencing medical symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder. Various workplace surveys indicate that people are feeling, the employees are feeling mentally disturbed or frustrated or depressed or stressed more than half the time at work. MetLife survey here shows 34% of employees feel that more than half the time at work they feel tired and stressed. 27% feel they are burnt out. 22% feeling discouraged. 19% feel distracted. 17% feel depressed. So here we can see various segments, including the workforce, not left untouched by this COVID-19 pandemic, as employees feel more than half the time at work, they feel, instead of feeling driven, ambitious, and planning for their career, feeling work-life balance, it has now come to a concerning statistics which indicate that more than close to 20 to 30% of the employees feel stressed, burnt out, frustrated, etc. Now here we see that it is taken on grave proportions, the COVID-19 pandemic and its resulting implications, as we see the American Psychological Association has declared stress in America as a national mental health crisis. COVID-19 being a significant stressor for most Americans. 78% say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life, and nearly 7 in 10, 67% say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. 1 in 4 essential workers, that is a 25%, diagnosed with mental health disorders since the start of the pandemic. One really needs to understand the implications of what this number means. As we all know, with the COVID-19 pandemic continuing unabated, in fact, mutating at a very fast pace, where even vaccines are not able to keep up with the pace at which the virus is mutating and its variants, ranging from Delta to various fungi, all these leaving people stressed, worried, concerned, and also faced with various derivative disorders ranging from physical to mental caused by this corona pandemic. The frontline defense for all these are healthcare workers, essential workers. And as the study is indicating from the American Psychological Association, that very frontline defense, the essential workers, 25% are diagnosed with mental health disorders. So needless to say, besides the threat and the health risk that essential workers face day in and day out because of exposure to the COVID-19 patients, the derivative impact, the continuous stress that the essential workers are subjected to because of constant exposure to the COVID-19 patients, the trauma that they keep seeing day in and day out, with the number of deaths that they are seeing, the number of suffering cases that the essential workers are exposed to, the emotional trauma that they are forced to go through day in and day out, having to see these patients suffering and their families stressed out and suffering. 25% diagnosed themselves, the essential workers themselves diagnosed with mental health disorders since the start of the pandemic. And further it goes on, COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden, say studies, and CDC says more than 60,000 US healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19 and 300 have died. And this is in comparison to the Journal of Medical Regulation, which says an estimated 300 to 400 physicians die by suicide every year. Of the health workers who treated patients during the COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression, 45% showed signs of anxiety, according to preliminary research. Now, those are very concerning numbers also, because more than half of the healthcare workers who are meant to be treating patients from the COVID-19 pandemic or its derivative disorders, 50% themselves being depressed and 45% being anxious. So we can see that the pandemic is taking its toll. And the very people who are supposed to be giving both medical support as well as emotional and mental health support are the very ones being impacted and falling to the corona pandemic. It further goes on, just in the United States, mental health during the COVID-19 pandemic, various studies showing that during late June, 40% of US adults reported struggling with mental health or substance use. And as we can see the numbers here, 31% of the citizens of the United States facing anxiety or depression symptoms, 26% now in having trauma or stressor-related disorder symptoms, 13% started or increased substance use, and 11% seriously considered suicide. So we can see here, just with the corona pandemic, the number of people facing anxiety or depression, trauma, and starting substance abuse, and seriously considering suicide, and therefore being at the brink of absolute breakdown. All these numbers at not less than 10% and going up to 30%. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. That particular segment is, if we can see, 15% used to feel depression and 29% used to feel anxiety before the COVID-19 pandemic. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, we can see the numbers have shot up to 41% of pregnant women and new mothers feeling depressed and 72% feeling anxious. So we can see here the pandemic on pregnant women and new mothers, which needless to say is going to impact and impacting the new generation, because their offspring, the newborns and yet to be borns, are naturally going to be impacted by the mental health of these either new mothers or pregnant women. Coming to students, about the students, demographics by degree sought indicate that 20% of college students say their mental health is significantly worsened under COVID-19. And the impact of COVID-19, 48% of college students have experienced financial setback due to COVID-19. Among all students, 38% said having trouble focusing on studies and or work was most stressful. 74% of students are challenged in maintaining a routine due to COVID-19. So we can see here the impact of the pandemic, where most students ranging from 50 to 75% experiencing trouble times due to COVID-19, either because of financial setbacks or because of lack of focus, or just not able to maintain a routine. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. Students are interacting most with parents during COVID-19 physical distancing, And number one thing that parents can do to support students is simply spending time with them. And this ranked much higher than talking about the COVID-19 news. The resource needs, number one for college student mental wellness, virtual face-to-face time, and number one for homeschooling students, digital social gatherings. 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. The increasing levels of mental health issues in women due to COVID-19, one can see here. It's extremely concerning because half the world's population in the women, 35% of females having moderate to severe levels of depression compared to 90% of males, 27% of females having moderate to severe levels of stress compared to 10% of males, and 37% of women aged 18 to 24, the youth, reporting suicidal thoughts compared to 17% of men. During lockdown, women are significantly more likely than men to have felt nervous and lonely. We can see here 40% of women feeling nervous compared to 30% of men about various things, right from their career to their future. And 30% of women felt that everything was an effort compared to 20% of men. 28% of women feeling lonely compared to 16% of men. And one can see here a whopping 2,800% increase in demand to the women's mental health clinic at the Alfred Hospital in 1 month. This is just one of the hospitals, the mental health hospitals, which indicates that women facing extreme amounts of stress or nervousness or a feeling of loneliness, everything in the wake of this pandemic, and therefore seeking in various forums, various ways, mental health support. And as we can see here, just one of the hospitals, Alfred Hospital, in just a span of 1 month saw a 2,800% increase in demand. The impact on mental health, specifically of Indian women during the coronavirus by age group, if we can see here, just 8%, almost a minuscule, almost non-existent number feeling not impacted at all. 50% feel somewhat impacted, and 42% feeling strongly impacted. So one can see here the number of women, almost 50% feeling somewhat impacted, and almost the rest of the half feeling very strongly impacted in the age group of 18 to 25 years, which is the youth women, young women. In the age group 26 to 32, the working women, 11% feeling not impacted at all, 54% feeling somewhat impacted, and 35% feeling strongly impacted. And understanding the pandemic's impact on working women, nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. That's almost practically every woman feeling that their lives have been negatively impacted. Nearly 70% of women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. Nearly 70% of women who said they have experienced adverse changes to their daily routines during the pandemic believe these shifts have prevented or will prevent them from progressing. And as it relates to the on-demand work environment, which has now become the way of working because of the pandemic, people having to work from home, and therefore the demands on them practically being 24/7. So nearly a third, 29% of women who feel they always need to be available are concerned that if they aren't able to fulfill this need, their career progression may be impeded. So before, it used to be that women had their work-life balance most of the time, at least in many of the places, because there was the certain number of hours dedicated to work, and then they had their work-life balance as they were able to spend their time at home doing their responsibilities at home. And now that border being breached because of work at home being the way the world is going, and therefore availability, it becomes a significant demand. On-demand work environment has become where the employers are expecting their employees, be it male or female, to be available 24/7, and that taking its toll on women's mental health and their work-life balance. Understanding the pandemic's impact on working women further, of respondents who experienced shifts in their daily routine, 65% now have more responsibility for household chores. 1/3 said their workloads have increased due to the pandemic. 58% of those with children reported added childcare responsibilities. Needless to say, with the lockdowns that have become prevalent across all countries or geographies, so the children being also studying from home, so the responsibilities of childcare also added to the responsibilities of women, especially working women. And 53% of those with children reported homeschooling or education responsibilities. So one is childcare responsibility, then they have their work hours getting added because employers expect them to be available more on demand for more hours, given that they're working from home. And then on top, they have the homeschooling or education responsibilities for educating their children. 46% reported feeling a need to always be available from a work perspective, that is online at so-called off hours, responding to emails immediately. And of those women, 45% said they feel overwhelmed naturally with all this added responsibilities with the same number of hours at their disposal. 48% said their physical well-being has suffered as an impact of feeling that they always need to be available, both at the work front and, of course, at the home front. And if you can see the COVID-19 impact on older persons, economic, and all the various dimensions that affect their lives, in terms of economic well-being, the pandemic may significantly lower older persons' incomes and living standards. Already less than 20% of older persons of retirement age are receiving a pension. In terms of life and death, fatality rates are 5 times higher than the global average today. An estimated 66% of people aged 70 and over have at least one underlying health condition. Mental health, physical distancing can take a heavy toll on our mental health. Living alone and being more digitally included than others, the risks are higher for older persons. Vulnerability-wise, essential care that older persons often rely on is under pressure. Almost half of COVID-19 deaths in Europe occurred in long-term care settings. Older women often provide care for older relatives, increasing their risk to infection. In responders, older persons are not just victims, they are also responding. They are health workers, carers, and among many essential service providers. And in terms of abuse and neglect, in 2017, 1 in 6 older persons were subjected to abuse. With lockdowns and reduced care, violence against older persons is on the rise. And if you can see here the distribution by age and sex of confirmed COVID-19 cases, we can see here that the age group, right from the 20 to 29 age group all the way up to the elderly, touching 80, every single age group impacted between whether it is male or females. And this data has been collected from 113 countries, territories, and zones by the World Health Organization care-based surveillance system. So this is where we are in terms of where COVID-19 has taken the world to, how every country, irrespective of their economic status, social status, culture, etc., every single country impacted, and how to combat this is still being worked out, literally struggled by every country is struggling with this, and how Kailasa, a revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the living avatar, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the COVID care protection centers designed personally by him under his guidance and being implemented to the T across the different de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa in India. One can register for these through this link below, avail of the COVID care protection on all levels, right from the human level to the divine levels. Every single person can avail of this by simply registering at this link, https://kailasa.org/kailasacare. So let's take a few minutes now to register ourselves at this link, and we will go into the next segment after just a few minutes that we take for this registration.
All the 64 arts of Hindu tradition, ஆய கலைகள் 64, all the 64 arts are dependent on the ability of you able to give prana to it. Nowhere it can be given by relative reality, but in Kala it is not. In Kala, our ability to breathe life to it. And I tell you, ultimately, never ever great things achieved or great fulfillment experienced in relative based actions. These relative existence based actions are draining activities. It drains you, makes you powerless. Even when you get praise, name and fame, award, reward, the relative existence itself is tiring. More existential reality based person is cheerful, powerful, enjoying, breathing life into everything it touches or does. So I feel Kala is the solution for the problems of the art.
The Nithyananda Sacred Arts University, creating a beautiful Hindu Vedic civilization. The 25 years of accomplishments from Nithyananda Sacred Arts University includes 563 statues made up of metal that weighs about 17,000 kg, 2,674 statues made of stone weighing up to 1 million kgs, and 482 statues made of marble weighing about 96,400 kg. There are 261 statues of wood and jewelry and decoration made in-house for 1,280 deities. The Nithyananda Sacred Arts University is established to preserve, revive, and spread the Vedic temple arts, architecture, and artifacts for people to live and experience the rich consciousness-based Hindu heritage. The temple-based arts and architecture is a science based on perfect framework of cosmic laws, sacred geometry, proportion and symmetry, sophisticated mathematical principles, and cardinal directions. The science is grounded on the sacred truth that a temple is a miniature of cosmos comprising of 5 elements and its presiding deity. Every aspect of temple and temple arts, from the size, shape, material, structural density, the halls, pillars, courtyards, the facing directions, to the process of installing the deity and art forms used. All these are revealed. The modern architecture has so much to learn from the ancient Vedic temple sciences. Several researchers and studies have proven the indigenous perfection of Vedic architecture. It has been scientifically proven that the characteristic configuration, geometric configuration of Hindu temples built with extraordinary perfection has significantly increased the strengths against the earthquake movements, resulting in creation of everlasting structurally sound structures which are proven earthquake resistant. The temples are living spaces where pure superconscious energy resides in infinite continuum, having its own independent intelligence going beyond time and space. Nithyananda Sacred Arts University, founded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, is founded in the year 2003, is the world's largest producer of temple arts and deities, with a mission to procure, collect, traditionally preserve the temple arts and temple traditions and the cultural heritage. spread the temple arts and architecture in its highest form as a celebrative lifestyle of peace and bliss as per the authentic scriptures. Operate as a university of learning the science and applied technology of sacred arts and temple architecture. Provide training, livelihood to the Sapatis, the generation of temple architects who preserve the rare temple sciences, creating a beautiful, highly evolved humanity, a civilization of new species following the rich Vedic Hindu life. The Vedic Hindu civilization, both in its lifestyle, tradition, art, and its architecture. Swamiji has envisioned the Pandyan Chettinad architecture for the construction of all the buildings and Madurai architecture for the construction of all the temples, for all the Hindu gods and deities and their vahanas, and just about everything that brings out the grandeur and galore one can imagine, which is truly inherent to the fascinating Hindu tradition. Building a temple-based civilization, nothing less compared to the best civilizations that ever existed. Some references here to kindle your imagination of what you can expect. Dwaraka, that was created for Lord Krishna by Vishwakarma. Swarna Lanka, that was created for Lord Shiva by Vishwakarma. Now, let us look into why these two examples were so renowned. Primarily because of the beauty of art and architecture that reflected from the beautiful, creative, artistic space and lifestyles these people were living. So here is an opportunity for you to bring out the reflection of your artistic creative side and contribute to this magnificent civilization to be. University spelt with a C as its own, envisioned to be a city of its own, reviving and reinstating the glory, grandeur, and richness of Hinduism across the world. Here is the 15-feet stone deity of Swamiji. It is the tallest ever deity made by the Nithyananda Sacred Arts University. And here you can see another beautifully carved life-size deity of Swamiji, standing and blessing the world in his compassionate form, Abhaya Varada Murti. What you're seeing here is the Sacred Arts team when they visited several quarries to identify the best stone for the deification project. You'll be surprised to know that every stone even has a gender as per Hinduism. So just by hitting the stone, a particular typical sound comes, and based on the sound, the gender is identified, and each gender has its specific project, specific purpose to which it is going to be carved. You can see here how the quality of stone proposed to be procured is being tested by the Stapatis. Now, after you select the stone, start the deification process. You can see here how the stone looks after the initial stages of the deification process. Yes, you can see how big the nose is, and later it is going to be decorative bodials and simums, an ornamental feature on every pillar above each Yajamana and Karta. The identification of best stones for sculpting. And what you are seeing here is how these stones are sculpted. And many statues went to Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya across the world. Like this, after carving each of these stone deities, everything was sent to Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayas across the world, where these deities are energized, and Prana Pratishtha was done for these deities by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. Once Prana Pratishtha is accomplished, then the deities become live. They respond to each one of our prayers. The restoration of the best stones collected from old temples. This is one other contribution from the Sacred Arts University. You can see here where thousands of stone pillars. All of this is collected. Yes, you can see here how thousands of stone pillars, all of this is being collected from buildings of Hindu temples and old Chettinad houses. So all of this beautiful art forms, the COVID Care Protection Center participants, they have access to learn, understand, and get enriched by these beautiful Hindu art forms. So you can join our COVID Care Protection Centers and be part of this beautiful renaissance of learning Hindu arts. You can register yourself from the link below, kailasa.org/kailasacare, KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. Let's take a few minutes for us to register ourselves in kailasa.org/kailasacare.